Hello students and welcome to the video lectures on memory management. This is Kiran Shinde, Assistant Professor IICMR MCA Pune. In the last video lecture, we discussed about the contiguous memory allocation techniques such as multiple fixed tasks and multiple variable tasks. We ultimately understood that the drawback in contiguous memory allocation is when a process is demanding certain memory hold, the memory hole or the available memory space should be in contiguous fashion. Now let us see how this drawback can be eliminated by making use of the other technique of memory allocation, that is non-contiguous memory allocation. So in this video lecture, we are going to talk on the concept of paging. So let's start. So as I mentioned, in this particular video lecture, we will be talking on the non-contiguous memory allocation technique, that is paging. First of all, try to understand what you mean by non-contiguous memory allocation. This technique allows to store the incoming job in non-contiguous holes in memory. It means whatever memory holes are requested by the process, those memory holes can be available in the scattered manner. They need not be available in the continuous fashion. Non-contiguous blocks means blocks not in sequence. So essentially, in these video lectures, we are going to talk on these three primary techniques of non-contiguous memory allocation: paging, segmentation, and segmented paging. So first of all, let us start with what do you mean by paging? First of all, paging is a non-contiguous allocation technique. It provides, or rather it avoids, the major problem of external fragmentation, which we discussed in my last video lecture. Here, the entire memory, physical and logical, is divided into multiple partitions which are of same size. So essentially, for understanding paging, we need to first of all understand that here the memory can be viewed in two perspectives: the physical memory and the logical memory. The logical memory will be divided into pages, the physical memory will be divided into frames. And very importantly, each frame size should be of same as that of page size. Let us try to understand how actually this division can be viewed. So if you see here, this is the physical memory, which is actually classified into 5 different frames, or which is divided into 5 different frames. For simplicity, we have named those frames as F0, F1, F2, F3, F4 and F5. Here you can see in the second image, the logical memory is shown, and the logical memory is divided into pages. And again, for the simplicity, the pages are named as P0, P1, P2 and P3. And very importantly, what you need to observe is in both the diagrams, or in both the images, the page size is equal to the frame size. Now, first of all, we will be touching upon certain theoretical concepts related to paging, and then we will see one example. First, CPU will generate the logical address, which will contain the two major fields, page number and the page offset. So, the logical address generated by CPU is equal to page number plus page offset. Now, with an example, we will understand what do you mean by offset and how this page number is going to be utilized by the memory management unit for mapping it with the frame. Now, in order to understand the mapping of logical address to physical address, we also need to understand a very important data structure which is used in non-contiguous memory allocation technique, which is page table. So in paging, the page table is the data structure which is used in a computer operating system in order to perform the logical to physical address mapping. Now, how does it perform logical to physical address mapping? It has some special fields with which it can map the page number with the frame number. So one page table is maintained for every process. It is very important to be noted. Whenever a process comes for the execution with CPU and demanding the memory allocation in physical memory, for that particular process, a page table is created temporarily. After mapping the desired pages with the frames, and the process continues its execution and finishes its execution, the page table is not in existence. Page number is used as an index into a page table. The page table also contains the base address of every page in the physical memory. Now let us try to understand all these points with an example. Let us have a look. So in this particular example, the logical memory and the physical memory is mentioned. And if you see, there is a page table which is shown in the middle of these two memories, showing two fields such as page number and frame number. So essentially, if you look at this particular example, the page is mapped with the frame. It means the page 0 from the logical memory will be mapped with frame 4. The page 1 in the logical memory will be mapped in the frame 3 of the physical memory. So this mapping is essentially done by page table, and of course operating system uses this page table to map the program pages to the memory frames so that the program can continue its execution with CPU. So that is the same thing which is shown how the mapping takes place. Now, page number actually gives an index into a page table. It means with page number, the sequence or the frames which are stored in the page table, the frame numbers which are stored in the page table can be easily located with the help of page number. What do you mean by offset? Offset gives the displacement value in the page. Now, in order to understand what do you mean by displacement value, after this particular slide, I'm going to take one example. The page table contains the page address of each page in the physical memory. So here you can see again a logical memory and a physical memory. And of course, the pages in the logical memory are mapped with the physical frames with the help of page table. Now, let us try to understand what you mean by the page number, or rather how the page table is making use of these two entries to find out the physical address. So for simplicity purpose, we have taken into consideration a logical memory which is comprised of 4 pages, and the pages are named as P0, P1, P2 and P3. Every page, if you see, is having size of 4 bytes. So in P0 there are 4 bytes which are again named as ABCD. In P1 there are 4 bytes which are named as EFGH and so on. So totally, if you just see, this particular logical memory is of 16 bytes because there are only 4 pages which are mentioned in this particular example. Now, if you see the page table here, in this particular page table, some pages of, rather I can say some bytes of page 0 are mapped with the frames of physical memory. Now, in this example, you will very well understand what you mean by offset. Okay, so let us try to first find out the physical and logical address of 1 byte of any page available here. So let's take an example of k byte. So first of all, we need to recall the formula for logical address, which is page number plus page offset. Okay, so let us concentrate on the kth byte here. So in order to put the values in logical address, first of all, you need to find out the kth byte is located in which page. It is located in page number 2. And what do you mean by offset here? What is the sequence of that particular kth byte in that respective page? So if you see the sequence 0, 1 and 2, the kth byte is located at this second position. So you can see the offset is 2. Then we need to find out the physical address of kth byte. So what is the formula for the physical address? You can see, which is mentioned at the top of the slide, frame number into page size plus page offset. Now, how are you going to get the frame number? Obviously, you will look at the page table. What is the page number of K? It is page number 2. So in line with that, you can see what is the frame number of page 2, which is mapped in page table. It is 1. So put that value here. Physical address is equal to frame number, which we received as 1, into what is the page size, which is already given, that is 4. So 1 into 4 plus what is the offset, which we already calculated, that is 2. So the value which you get is 6. So what is 6? 6 is nothing but the position or the memory location where the kth byte will be mapped in the physical memory. So to make you understand once again, we will take an example of now eth byte. The byte E, the byte which is named as E, we will find out the logical address and the physical address. Again, try to locate where the byte E is there in the logical memory. You can see it is there in the page number 1. And what is the offset? It is 0. So put the values, page 1 plus offset 0. Now we will find out physical address here. Physical address is what? Frame number into page size. Now how will you find out again the frame number? Look at the page table. What is the page number for E? It is page 1. So across page 1, what is the mapped value for frame? It is 0. So put the value here, 0 into 4 plus offset we already calculated 0. So you get the value here as a physical address of E is 0. Okay. Now if we just see the final appearance of the physical memory, you can just cross check. The frame, rather the physical location for E is 0, which we got, and the physical location of K is 6. Okay, so with this simple example, you will understand how these two formulae, that is physical address and logical address, is used in order to map the byte which is residing in logical memory for execution of the process to the physical frame in physical memory. So these are the two examples which we discussed in this particular lecture. You can just practice more on the other bytes also and just put the desired values in the two formulae, that is physical address and logical address. So to conclude, you can see that with this particular technique, that is the paging, there is no external fragmentation there. Why? Because obviously the memory holes or the frames which are available are not needed to be available in continuous fashion. They can be in non-contiguous fashion. That is the first thing. And what do you mean by external fragmentation, or exactly when external fragmentation problem arises? When that particular process, any process which is demanding the physical memory, the demand is much more than the available memory space. So in this case, there is less possibility that this particular problem will arise because the memory holes will be available in the scattered manner. So in paging, the external fragmentation will not be there. Now, any frame can be allocated to a process that needs it, but it may suffer from some internal fragmentation. How? Because it may happen that the space or the memory requirement of the demanding process is less than the available memory partition. So in that case, some amount of memory will be wasted, resulting in the problem of internal fragmentation. But in that case, what can be done? The page size can be reduced. But again, we need to think on page size. Why? Because if page size is very small, then what will happen? It will impose much overheads on the operating system. So paging provides a clear separation between user's view of memory and actual physical memory, which we saw. And it is a form of dynamic relocation. And of course, it makes use of page table and frame table in order to map the logical address with the physical address. So students, I hope you must have understood the non-contiguous and very, very efficient memory allocation technique, that's paging. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for my next video.